Hey, good morning, chat room. I'm almost ready. Just had to switch up the title there. I made a post over to Reddit. We'll be set to go here in 1 minute. Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is where you are. Good day. Hello, my name is Jeff Fritz. Welcome back to my live stream. Good morning, everyone, says Lannon. Absolutely. Today is November 15th, 2018, and we're going to write a little code today. Good morning, chat room. I see Svava over there and Janescu. Cloud-backed settings. Yes. Yeah, I wish. Shy Sharp is here. Lennon BR. Bard Dacky. Good morning. Hello, hello. Infected FPS. I'm assuming FPS is first person shooter. Hello, hello. Good to see everybody. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm wearing my Philadelphia Fusion hat today because we are closer and closer to having all of the expansion teams in the Overwatch League. And if you've been watching me, you know I'm a little bit of a fan of Overwatch. I enjoy watching the Overwatch League, and this is the logo of my Philadelphia Fusion. They're the Overwatch team representing Philadelphia, where I'm from. And they just announced a couple more teams, a couple more of the expansion teams that are coming for next season, including the Chengdu Hunters. They're represented by a giant panda. That looks really cool. And we just saw the Hangzhou Spark announced. And Hangzhou, they've got this weird finger-pointing gun thing as their logo, and their colors are bubblegum pink and blue. Okay. Hey, some folks like that. That's pretty good. All right. Best of luck to them. And we look forward to whooping you this coming season, our Philadelphia Fusion. Janescu, Finns are doing good in esports. They are. They made the World Cup finals, but they got clobbered by South Korea in the first round or something like that. Was South Korea just crushed people. Am I overwatching the Overwatch League? No, not at all. Hey, Corpa, thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate that. Isaac, yes, in 2 days I will be at the Philadelphia Philly Code Camp this Saturday. So I will not have a stream on Saturday. We'll probably run the stream on Sunday morning, just like we have been the past few weeks. I think that's worked out very nicely. Hey, Coated Beard. Let me get some music playing here in the background, and then I've got one more announcement I want to make sure everybody's aware of. You know what? Today let's play Indigo. There we go. Oh, that's right. What was the guy's name? There was a very talented Finnish player won the StarCraft world title. I can't remember his name, but yes, he demolished. It was really cool to watch. My T-shirt. I've got my representing G Fuel a little bit today. That's fine. Hey, Turrican and Fretya. So what I want to make sure that you're all aware of is I've been talking about doing this Xamarin workshop, and let's bring that up. Bring the browser over, do the thing, and we are going to do the Xamarin workshop, but I need some help. I am not a Xamarin expert, so I wanted to bring in some experts. Hey, I know who that guy is. So here we go. Over here on the Visual Studio channel is where you're going to find this. Build your first mobile app with C#, Xamarin, and the cloud. So I'll be hosting this. It'll be syndicated over here on my channel. Let's see if we can zoom in there a little bit. Who's this guy down here? Go away. There it is. So tomorrow, normal start time, it'll be syndicated over here, but if you want to interact with the chat room, you're going to want to make the jump over to Visual Studio. Do that, click through, and you will be able to join us for our... Wait a sec, what's going on over here? I love it when you think you close things and they're just kind of hanging out there doing their own thing. There we go. And I don't need Spotify running right now, some of these other things. I thought I closed you. Goodbye. All right. So tomorrow, normal time, you'll be able to find me here, but it'll be coming from Visual Studio channel, so roll over there if you want to interact with the chat room. It'll be myself and James for the first few hours, and we're going to build a mobile app. We're going to walk through all the steps. We're going to build it live here on Twitch. I hope you join us. And then Matt, I'm going to pronounce his name wrong, Sukup, I think I pronounced it right there, will be joining us for the last hour or two, and we're going to deploy that application to App Center. And you're going to be able to see how to interact with that, how to get good deployments, and get test versions of the application that you can work with on your device. Hey, Ancient Coder, good to see you. I think you were looking forward to this, seeing a little bit about doing our first mobile app with C# and Xamarin. So that's tomorrow on the Visual Studio channel. Let your friends know. Click through to over here. There's a Remind Me button that you can set up. I'm even going to post the link here in the chat room for you. Where did that I come from? There we go. That's better. All right. So that's coming up tomorrow. Rainbow Beard Challenge, we are at 4285. I don't think we're going to make the 5,000 before December. So that's okay. It was a valiant effort. I'm still feeling pretty good about that. So, yes, App Center. It will be very cool tomorrow. Hey, Alex. Good to see you. Ancient Coder's excited about tomorrow. Fantastic. Yeah, bring your .NET bots over there tomorrow. It'll be fun. Now, what I want to work on today, I have a number of pieces of feedback on our bot that we've been working on here in the chat room, and some of the GDPR stuff we've been talking about the past few days has just gotten very heavy, and it's something that I want to move away from for a little bit and get back into something fun. Time to make lots of accounts. I'm not going to say you shouldn't do that, but the folks at Twitch wouldn't be too thrilled with it. All right. So here's what I want to do. I want to spend a little bit of time looking at the bot, have a little bit of fun with this. I need to shake things up. I've gotten a little bit too serious in the past few days. And I want to talk to you more in the chat room. I feel like I've been monopolizing our conversation here, and it hasn't been as much pair programming as much as it's been Jeff running his mouth. So I want to make sure that there's plenty of interaction and feedback with you in the chat room. I've always said that this is pair programming. This isn't so much me telling you things or me broadcasting and saying you should do this. I want to make sure that this is a two-way street. So please, in the chat room, interrupt me. You know, if you've seen me before, you know I answer every question that comes through there. So please ask all the questions. And what I want to spend some time building today is to actually enable you to contribute more during our interaction. GDPR can be very draining, yes. Oh, if you are new to it, it can be quite draining because some of the questions and things around what is private information, what isn't, can get very tedious. Actually, hiding and removing these things is easy, but what can I show? What can I put into which system is a pain in the neck. So Ancient Coder, let me share this. Some of you know I've been applying to achieve partner status here on Twitch. I've been trying hard. I've been grooming and raising a community here, and I'm proud of the community that we have, and raising and engaging other developer streamers who write code here, so we have a tremendous beginnings of a developer community here where we can learn and we can write and be technical folks contributing and learning from each other throughout the day. And we've hit all of our milestone numbers that we need in order for me to achieve partner status. However, the folks at Twitch decided it was not the right time. They would like to see some additional interactivity on my streams. They'd like to see a little bit more viewership. So we're going to work on that. And we are going to we'll be in touch with those folks over at Twitch over the next few months. So last thing I want to say about schedule and about some of the things that we're working on, and then I want to get into our code today. So Saturday I'm speaking at an event at an Saturday I am speaking at an event. I'll be there with our friend Isaac. And they will actually be broadcasting, they'll be streaming sessions from the event on the Philly.net channel, which will be hosted over on Visual Studio, and I think I have my channel set up to host it as well. Sunday, I'll broadcast live from here back at the Fritz Hacienda, and then I am out for 10 days. I am finally taking vacation. Some of you have asked, gosh, Jeff, you haven't taken any time off. I'm taking 10 days over the American Thanksgiving break. And then we have Connect. You're going to see a lot of me at Connect. I will not be live on this channel, but you will see me at Connect. Some of you will be extremely happy to hear that as part of Connect, I will be streaming. I will have I will be doing a live coding session during Microsoft Connect with Noopcat, with Suze Hinton. So if you watch her stream on Sundays, this is you're going to see us two live streamers coding together for Connect. And then on Thursday, I forget the exact time, you can look at the schedule, as part of Dev Intersection, we're going to be doing more IoT coding at Dev Intersection live on stage. We're going to broadcast it. You're going to be able to see us give another session together live at Dev Intersection. That's right, Lennon. Bring all the C# bots, bring all the Noopcat coffees. It's going to be a lot of fun. .NET and IoT and JavaScript all together, one session. We're going to have so much fun with that. And then we're going to get back into the code, all right? Jeez. Let's get over here. All right. Reminder, Wintellect Now has a coupon code for us. If you use the code Happy Halloween, you can use it anytime between now and the end of December, and you'll get 14 days free content. You can watch all kinds of videos from me without the music, without the interruptions, all that stuff. There's all kinds of video content there, bite-sized, hour-long video content you can watch over your lunch, but you'll get 14 days completely free. Checkmatey. Is that right? Checkmatey? Is that how you pronounce that? Thank you so much for subscribing with your Twitch Prime. I'm flattered that you would use your Twitch Prime subscription with us. And we'll make a donation to Girl Develop It. Thank you very, very much. All right. So I want to talk about Chatbot again. Now, we have a couple pull requests here that are going to help out with this. Nemanja has been doing some work here on this top command. And there was some feedback down here. Nemanja has been kind of out of pocket and is asking for a little bit of direction here. So the idea is, in the chat, it'd be really cool, and what this top command is supposed to do is take what you see at the top, right? That's a list of all the contributors to our projects that have done some amazing things for us here. and contributing to some of the code that we've written. And what Nemanja wants to do is be able to execute command top in the chat room and have it report, well, here's those same folks. Neat idea, but it would be a tremendous amount of spam for all of the projects and all of the time, right? Because I actually break it down top of the week, top of the month, and top all time for each project. This would be a ton of information. So what I want to give him some feedback on is, let's require, when you say top, give me a project name and maybe give me a time range. Let's make the project name and also the time range a constructor argument to the command. Not even a constructor argument. We should be able to execute a command like this, right? I want to be able to say top core wiki this week and receive information about the top contributors this week to core wiki. All right, and that'll keep him going there. But I have another commit here that does a little bit of refactoring of the bot and adds some more unit tests. So there's a bunch of files changed here. Let's take a look at this. Janescu says the WebSocket for OBS is good. Yes. So Janescu is actually taking a look at doing some work with OBS, and it's a Blazor application, so that you can connect to OBS and do some interaction with that. That's some pretty neat stuff. Hey, Welsh Ronaldo and Codair, good to see you. So this one, what Patrick is offering us here is a little bit of refactoring capabilities. I have this, so our chatbot is hanging out there, and I'm seeing just a bunch of removing using statements, moving them around. I'm not thrilled with those changes, but let's figure out a little bit more here, see what we do. Let's see here. So some information. Okay. You've renamed configuration root from all caps to init caps. Okay. Unknown command message. That's... okay. You've refactored this out. Logger, chat service, basic command, extended commands. Okay, they were here. You've moved them around a little bit. You removed a private set. So far, I'm not seeing anything that's extremely compelling that I want to go after. Hey, Mr. Demon Wolf. Mr. Demon Wolf. I think you've got a fine name there, sir. Mr. Demon Wolf. Not just with Blazor, but Xamarin apps as well, where a SignalR server connects to OBS via WebSocket. That's a cool idea. Hey, Maker Blaker. I'm not seeing anything in these changes here that are making me say, oh my gosh, I need to take this. I want to hold off on this because this seems like some refactoring that isn't significant for me yet. I'm going to hold off on this one. So let's, go. I want to go back to my issues. Now, there's a couple things here I do want to talk about before I get in and actually start writing this new command that I want to talk to you more about, actually. Duplicate links and appended certainty percentage for the calendar URL. So Casper here says, yeah, the command for the calendar is a little bit messy right now. That's actually a response coming out of the wiki, coming out of the Q&A. My name is BC. Oh, I see. Oh, your name is because you're a furry. Okay. If that makes you happy, fantastic. This looks like it's a problem with that Q&A. I'm not going to dig into that right now. This one from Brave Cobra I think is very interesting. Add dependabot.com to the repository to get updates of packages. You could use custom link. Perhaps. So using, I like where you're going with there, Mr. Demon Wolf. If I do use custom links, I can do things like put analytic tags inside those custom link shorteners. So, right, hide them in there so that I do get some analytic information coming out of there. Not to mention the custom link shortener collects its own analytics as you bounce through that custom link. Check out Rebrandly. It will allow you to use your own domain. Okay. Let's see what Rebrandly does. Your brand on your links. Well, you can do this with Bitly as well. You can sign up for a premium account there and get something similar. Transform horrible URLs into branded links, brand.link/keyword, and share. And it's GDPR compliant. I wanted to avoid talking about GDPR today. Anyways, so maybe we can do this. What is custom links? Oh, there you go, Codair. Yes. You use them and it's great. And it's free? Well, then what do you pay for here? Free. Unlimited redirects. Clicks tracked per month, 5,000. That might be a little more than... That might not be enough for the kind of traffic that I'm hoping to drive. Branded links 500, custom domain names 5. I'll only have maybe 1 or 2 custom domain names. So my friend Jeremy Lickness actually wrote his own custom link shortener using Azure Functions. That might be something that I can do as well. That sound effect is perfect. Hang on, let me go back to it. Come on, we're not there yet. Okay. There it was. Yeah, the bleeding heart for GDPR is a pain. Yeah. And that wasn't a Java.NET thing, Codair, right? This is more of a web thing, right? Shorten, you've seen things like Bitly before. This does the same thing. Shorten those URLs, give you something that's a little bit more clickable and doesn't have that full link there. Hey, Alex, thanks so much for using your Twitch Prime here. I appreciate that. And you're going to get to use the .NET bot, and we'll make a donation to Girl Develop It. Very cool. Thank you very, very much. All right. Let's do this. Go over here.
And then...
I'm going to go back to what I really wanted to work on. So dependabot.com. What Dependabot does, this is something they were talking about on the ASP.NET Community Stand-Up. Let's head over here. Dependabot will monitor your projects in a repository and will send pull requests if something is out of date. Now, here's the thing. I log in and it jumps me into Microsoft because I am part of the Microsoft organization. So, absolutely, Mr. Demon Wolf, this is a free service. So, I've already dropped in Core Wiki, and it hasn't told me anything about this. What do you mean, add a language? Add dependency files from a different language or non-root folders. Doesn't it know how to do that? Target branch optional. We'll use my repo's default branch dev. Only security updates, automatic PR merging, no. All right, so let me go back. Let's add a repository to this. And it's going to show all of my repositories here. You've added all my repos. No, I haven't. I didn't know. No. I didn't want to add all my repositories. I've got too many repositories. See? Ha! No, it didn't. I don't... What does... No. No. So it realizes that's .NET. I want to add repositories. Grant access to addition. There's, okay, sure. I'm confused. There's Dependabot. So I installed this about a month ago, but let's add this to my Stream Tools project. So when packages go out of date, this will send a pull request that says, here, we need to update this. You've got a package that went out of date. So I'm granting it access to only select repositories. In this case, right now, it's only Core Wiki, but I also want to grant access to Stream Tools. Man, I've got a bunch of junk in here, don't I? Let's start with just those. So I'm going to save, and this should allow me now route back over here. All right, so there's Stream Tools language.net. Yes, please. And it says beta. I don't think it's doing a very good job on that. So I'm going to check that. Yes, add that selected one. Daily bumping enabled. We also kicked off an initial bump now. They call it a bump, and that's when they inspect your project and try to figure out what do we need to include? What do we need to send that pull request that says, oh, you're out of date. Now, I'm kind of forcing the issue with this one because when I click on code here, GitHub is already telling me there's a vulnerability. I think it is a cool bot, Ancient Coder. If there is an update on .NET Core, it should alert me. Yes. So when you come over here, you log in, you give it access, you log in with your GitHub information, and it'll connect. And I should be able to see, right? It's checking now. It's inspecting what's here. I could set the update schedule, assignees. Well, I should always assign this to myself, not Fritz. Labels. Let's add a label. I don't know. What label should I set? So my pull requests, labels. Is it an enhancement? What? I can tell it to automatically set this. Guten Nachmittag, Dangenheimer fan. I appreciate the info it includes in the PR it creates. Let me create a... let's create a new label and call it update. Automated package update. And let's make the color, I want to make it like black. Like that. Right now I'll make Dependabot create a label. Right, everything that it creates. No, I said, there we go. Update, I'll have it put the update label on it. I don't want it to automatically merge whitelisted dependencies to merge automatically. No. All right, settings updated. Let's see if it... Wait a sec. It's looking in the wrong project. Monitor dependency files. Docker Compose, test, Stream Tools. Okay, so it is looking at everything. It's weird that it's highlighted the Docker Compose CS proj. Hey, Fletcher King. We're going to work on a automated chatbot here, and we're going to use a little bit of SignalR to have a little bit of fun with allowing you to send code to me live here on stream. All right, my German is barely getting by here. Oh no, I'm certain. What was the? Yeah, gosh, I wish it detected that it was English and didn't do that. Bummer. But is it going? I want to see it. I want to see Dependabot send it. Holy crow! I think it found some things. Let's see. Bump mock from 483 to 410. Now here's the really cool thing. Don't I have... You know what? I don't have this set up with continuous integration. So it's not going to tell me, right? If I had this set up with Azure DevOps, it would tell me whether it was going to merge properly and work. But I think some of these I can pass through. This is a easy merge, and I love the amount of information. Who was it who said? Parathon, some really neat bumps mock, and it includes the changelog information here. Will resolve any conflicts with this PR as long as you don't alter it yourself. You can also trigger a rebase manually. So that's kind of cool. By commenting at dependabot rebase. I don't need to do that. Merge it. Do it. Let's go take a look at the other ones. I love seeing this. System I/O abstractions from 21192 to 256. Now, why do I need to do that? Resolve any conflicts? Yeah. The PR will be updated for you in a moment if you make any changes. So it already finished this. Oh, no. Ooh, wow. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a little crazy. It's getting triggered with the question marks. Yes, it is. Yep. Yeah, some of these are going to be a little nutty. So I need to now resolve because it's got the wrong version number in here for mock. And then commit. So this is nice. It's a nice service. But and I think this first step is a little tedious. Yeah, this is an RC build of XUnit. And it's also going to be choking. Yeah. So it was mock 410. Oh my gosh, what a pain. I want this version of XUnit. And I don't want that version. Okay. Hey, Brave Cobra. So I've dropped in Dependabot here, and it's given me a bunch of pull requests on the stream tools. So Microsoft Extensions Configuration JSON from 210 to 211. And this is probably going to... Which one is this in? The console chatbot. That's fine. Go ahead and merge. Now there's a security one here. Let me finish. I thought we closed this one. Didn't I do this one? Merged. Squash and merge. Okay. Last two. Auto fixture XUnit 2. And we've moved away a bit from auto fixture. If you remember, auto fixture is something we started using a while ago to try to... oh, good. That one's going to merge with no problem. To try and generate and create some unit tests a little bit easier. Is it going to take me to... Yep, it's taking me to 216, and it includes security fixes. Now, if I did have the automatic build on here, I would know whether or not it worked all right. And I'd have my unit tests run. Now, I'm going to close this one. Added Dependabot to the project. Cool. Thank you for the suggestion. It's already on CoreWiki, but it's not creating any issues over there. So, yes, Sir Brave is here. Ancient Coder is here. And I did change some folks from moderators to VIPs. There was the comment of Dan Roth on a compatible Razor reference. Where? Is that over on CoreWiki? Not there. Recently updated. I did not see anything from Dan. Hey, Stelzy, nothing significant yet, but we're about to get into something I think that'll be much more interesting. Client-side JavaScript was looking for a comment to split HTML response from the server to update the HTML on the client. Ooh. Hey, this Simeon, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. So what I don't see a comment here from Dan. Even if I... No, I don't see anything. He had a pull request with us. Nope, I can't even find it searching that way. I think he's... Is it... It's like... Where is it? He sent us a pull request on this. Dan Roth 27. Yeah, it's not going to be able to... Get rid of that then. Yeah, those are from a while ago. And if I say is PR... Oh! Over on the Razor issue. Yeah, this is from about a month ago. What did the fish say when he swam into a wall? Oh, fairy wings.
Oh my.
Oh. You're killing me here. What framework? Okay. Yeah, there's nothing. I don't see anything new here. Add an explicit reference. We didn't. So the thing is, we didn't change anything from his pull request. We still have the package reference removed. And we updated the .NET Core SDK. Add an explicit reference to the latest version, and we did have that. I'm not going to get swamped with this today. I want to do something a little bit more fun here. So my wife sent me this link, and I was looking at this before we started today, and I'm thinking, I might be able to eat pancakes, but I don't think that's going to be real. Honestly, I don't. So here's what I want to do. This would be nice to recognize first-time contributors. I think this is something fun if somebody wants to build this. I'm going to mark this as help wanted. But we're working on this concept of a chatbot. And I feel like the chat should be two ways. What's this issue? Now, let me come back to that because that actually feeds into a little bit of what I want to work on today. Let me do a git pull here. Hey, Podata Palmen. What would be amazing, Mordecai? A vaccine would be amazing. Yes, it would be. I do think it's too good to be true. I would love to be able to do something like some of our friends who have diabetes, how they can take insulin and they can still, with a little bit of work, have some things with sugar. There's zero option for somebody with a gluten intolerance, celiac disease like I do. Okay. Moving on from coffee. So here's what I want to do today, and here's where I think you're going to have a good time and where I think this is going to be something compelling. A number of times, some of you say things like, "Hey, there's something you're missing. Can I help you write a little bit of code? There's something there that needs help." And stuff like Visual Studio Live Share gets us somewhere near there. The problem I have with Live Share is that Live Share is pretty much everybody's doing their own thing in the code at the same time. I can give everybody read-only access to my Visual Studio right now. Hey, thanks for the follow, XXOCP. Let me know if there's a way you want that pronounced, because I'm not sure. Norseman71, good morning, good afternoon. So what I'd like to do, right, I mean, I can, right, if I wanted, and let me just show you how crazy this is right now. I'm going to sign in with my Microsoft account. Yep, not that one. I want my other accounts. You're kidding. I had a Windows update installed this morning. I'm going to sign in with this account. That's not the password. That is. Ready to collaborate. I know. Do it. Thank you. I know. Stop taking me out of Visual Studio. Okay. Introducing collaboration session. And I can share that right now. I'm going to make it read-only. Here's what I'm going to do, because I'm feeling inviting today. Go ahead and join my live share. And what I'm going to do, everybody's going to be read-only. I'm going to go into my live share settings. And I'm even going to open this up just a smidge. And you're going to see... allow guest control. False, false, false. Yeah, everything is turned off, so it's just me. But there was a limit here. I want to make sure I open up the limit. Increased guest limit. True. So now up to 30 people, you can join in if you want to click through and you want to actually get into my Visual Studio and be able to explore around and see what's here. You can do that. You'll have read-only access. Open up your Visual Studio code, open up Visual Studio 2017, and you can click in and take a look around the code. But that's not... Sockpa is how you pronounce that. I'm gonna call you Sock now. Catch you later, Uncle Bill. All right, so here's what I want to do, and here's the problem. Yes, go ahead. Yep, go ahead. Sure. Stelzy, yep. Yep. So everybody's read-only coming in. And you're welcome to wander around and take a look at whatever you'd like. But you're not going to be able to change my code. Which leads to this really weird thing where you're wandering around and you might tell me in chat, hey, there's something over here that I want to fix, I want to take a look at. And that's okay. But I need to kind of queue it up as the instructor, as the teacher, as the host. I need to be able to receive those things and kind of queue it up and go one at a time and go and fix them. So, yeah, that live share is very crazy. We've got 5 folks in here right now. It should open up to as many as 30. I wanted to tell you all a UDP joke, but I'm not sure if you would get it. I see what you did there, Norseman. It is cool. It is cool, Mayor 1337. So take a look, wander around. This is, you know, you're welcome to do whatever. I can click through and see, you know, there's where Mayor is, and I can click over here. I can see where Stelzy is, right? ST is Stelzy. So, but you, right? don't have the ability to change anything in here. I can come over here and there's Mordecai. I can see where he's wandering around. And okay, that's nice. But I want to be able to receive code from you from the chat room without having to. It says we can only join the collab. Cannot join because it has already reached 5 participants. Stand by. Stand by. I turned it to true. Let me do this. I'm going to end the collaboration and start a new one here. So, are you kidding me? I was already signed in. Don't you dare make me sign in again. I don't know what changed, but this is annoying. There we go. Make read only. All right. Go ahead, try that one. And now we should get to 30. That deserved more? That deserved more? Go ahead. Laugh at it.
Throw me a frickin' bone here.
All right, let's... I don't want it to prompt me for everybody. It's going to be kind of annoying to be constantly prompted. Features, keep alive, outputs. There comes Stelzy. Accept. 1 second here. Read-only user visibility while following. I'm going to, just so you can see what's going on, I'm going to turn that on. Allow anonymous guests. I'm going to accept for what I'm doing right now. Features default, keep alive. Require guest approval. No, just allow it to come in. All right. So I'm up to 5. More than 5 is just greedy. Yeah. Max of 5 reached. Again? Even though I've got it turned on. Nope, there we go. Nope, we're still at 5. It should let up to 30. I mean, you saw it. Say it. You saw it. Say it. Right, so somebody's getting disconnected and the next person is jumping in, but it... Features. Experimental. Yeah, and I told it not to prompt me, and it's still prompting. It's interesting. All right. Moving on. Let me get into it. Now you're in. All right. Let's all just use any desk. Yeah, it's supposed to go up to 30. You know what? Let's do this. What's his... I forget his... Yep. I'm running live share on stream and trying to use the increased capacity. I'm still getting limited to 5 read-only guests. All right. I left. I'm new anyway. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with being new. Nothing wrong with that at all. So what I want to work on, what I want to take a look at here is I want to add a command so that you can send me code as well as a location for where to put that code in the project and be able to have that code come from the chatbot and appear somewhere in Visual Studio. So Mare, what I'm looking at doing is I want to give that Fritz bot that you're sitting there in the chat room and talking to, I want to give it a little bit more capability for you to, without using live share, be able to interact with me and Sean was disconnected. Be able to interact and do more of a pair programming type of experience. I think if we make Stream Tools would extend live share to a Twitch extension, yes, that's exactly where I'm getting to with this. Exactly where I'm getting to. So, here's what I'm going to do. So, it's funny watching all the little tape flags wandering around. But it's like herding cats, right? You'd be wandering around and just making changes to code willy-nilly. And as the host that's trying to coordinate all of this, it's not going to work. Yes. And you have things like that, Pudata. Somebody could type format C and poof, there goes my code. A Discord extension for live share. There is one, Stelzy. There is. So if you actually launch this in Visual Studio Code, here. You can set Visual Studio Code to use Slack, or you can actually have it reconfigured. No, go away right now. You can have it configured instead of Slack to use Discord. Hello? Right? Live share. Not collaboration. There it goes. Discord. So if you're using... Discord, if you're in my Discord server, it's wired up to that, and I could share my live share to Discord and be able to get in and do Discord chat, audio chat, live in Visual Studio Code. That's pretty cool for live share. No, go away. Oh, you know what? So our friend Jonathan Carter is saying we should restart Visual Studio. If you give me 1 second here, I'm going to end the collaboration and restart Visual Studio so that we can try and get everybody in on live share. Here, Stream Tools. All right. Do I have control of changes? Yes, I have everybody turned on to read-only. It is read-only. All right. When it's not read-only. That's the thing, Mayor. It's not. I don't have control of changes. And that's where I think putting together a little chatbot command is going to help us here. So I'm going to try starting a live sharing session. I'm signed in. It's having me go through the login window again. I'm not sure why I need to do this each time. Okay. Invitation link. I'm going to make it read-only. It is a very dangerous thing. Absolutely. Especially if you're sharing that link with everybody on Twitch. Okay. And now I've got to approve everybody again. It's like, I don't want to approve. Just let them join. Live share. Anonymous guest requests. Accept. Allow guest control. No, no. But it is prompting me for everyone. Wow. Is that Shalega? Thanks so much for the subscription. I appreciate you using your Twitch Prime here. Very cool. Thank you so much for joining us. There we go. We're up to 6. And I'll let some more folks in. Absolutely. Go ahead. So, You can navigate around and check out what's in there. A-Rod Nom Nom. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate the follow. Unable to join the host due to an authentication error. It's online. Give it another try. So, and you can see everybody wandering around in here, and from your side, you can see people wandering around as well. Which is, right, that's really cool. So, here comes some more folks. And now, 30 is an experimental number, right? No, and as something that, and I've also turned on the ability to see everybody, right? I can turn that off and I won't see your flags. But I've turned this on so that you on Twitch can see live share working great here. I'm going to right back to our friend Jonathan here. That was it. Works great. I've got about 10 folks on Twitch watching and in my Visual Studio with read-only access. Very cool. All right. So, yes, you can request I follow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that off for now. I'm going to hide all of your little tape flags. Focus behavior, no. And I'm going to turn off read only while following. All right, so now I can't see you. You're in there, you're wandering around. It is pretty mind-blowing. Yes. Yeah, C# Dan, that's a great way to describe it. It's mob programming.
Wow.
I know. Pretty cool. Looks like I still need to approve folks coming in, but whatever. Treating different users differently would be awesome. Yeah, that might be neat to be able to put a flag on folks and be able to give, you know, these are folks that are allowed to make changes. These are folks that are in read-only, observing. Cool. Sorry, Fletcher King. Yeah, I want to be able to get some stuff done here. Yep. There you go, Brave Cobra. It's a great idea. So, what I want to do is I want to allow you to submit code with a command from chat. So, I want to add a new command that will allow you to submit code, and for right now, I'm going to need to specify. I'm going to need to specify a file name and a line number where we're going to put in that little bit of code. And then hopefully we'll expand our interaction on Twitch side so that we can send that command in a little bit easier. Yeah. But for now, we'll, yeah, there you go. Thank you, C# Dan, for resharing that link. I think that's the right link. Is there a live share API? Not yet. No. Okay, so I'm going to add a command. Add a class. And I'm going to call this the live code command. I don't need to be notified when folks leave either. Is there a way to turn off the notification when folks leave? No. I don't see it here. No. Okay. There's Janescu. All right, so let's make this a public class. And now, those of you that are connected, you can see me working on this command. So a basic command, I think, is what we're going to want to do here, because we're going to want to receive information about the, you know, you've triggered something, you've sent in some sort of a code command, and then we're going to go do something with it. So I'm going to mark this as a, right, an basic command. And I'm going to implement that interface. The trigger, I think I'm going to make this, the trigger be the word code. And then description. I want to be able to receive. Come here, you. Send a code suggestion to the broadcaster. All right, cooldown. I actually don't want it to have too much of a cooldown. So, time span from seconds. Just to make sure you don't spam it. All right. Now, when we execute, what do I do when you send me something? Everybody who's in live share sees the input faster than in the stream. Yes, there is a light stream delay. There's maybe a 1.5 2 second delay, depending on where you are. So, but what do you think? It is pretty cool to see all of your initials up here, kind of hanging around. And I'm not looking to capture your email addresses or anything. Well, Alex will capture his email address. We'll latency to broadcaster 2.89 seconds. Visual code live share is very fast. Yes, it is. So, Spectre speed. Cactus. What cactus? Huh? What do you mean? It is a little freaky, isn't it? So, I want to be able to receive code from you, and then I'm going to send it somewhere. I want to send it, actually, to our web server, and be able to put that on screen so that I, as the broadcaster, can see your suggestion and grab it and put it into code. Live share is just a WebRTC connection. It's a little bit more than that. At least that's what they tell me. Okay, just keeping an eye on some things on Twitch and Twitter. So, who was that? DNet78, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. So, how much time do we got? Plenty of time. Plenty of time. So I want to be able to take this and I want to send that information about that that block of text that you're going to send me. I want to, for right now, just send that argument, whatever that argument is, over to the web server, and we'll display it on a page using SignalR. Now, I know we've done a little bit of work on SignalR before here. For those of you that aren't familiar, SignalR is a way for us to do a live connection, two-way connection to a web server. So the web server can not only send content on request from a client, but the web server can push data to a client as well and call methods on a client. So that's what we're going to do in order to update what will be a little console here of chat commands that I receive, so that unlike live share where things just happen and you have free access to navigate around my code and change whatever you'd like, I want to be able to have queued up. Here are the suggestions from folks. Is that like WebSockets? Yes, yes. Gaff from Blade Runner, it is like WebSockets, where so WebSockets is a two-way communication that comes with the HTTP2 specification that most web servers support. What SignalR does is it's an abstraction over WebSockets, so that if a web server or a browser doesn't support WebSockets, it'll actually fail over to other supported technologies to enable that same live interaction. However, it's also future-proof, because if you continue to use that abstracted SignalR interface, when that next feature comes along, it's not WebSockets, it's WebFoo, it's I don't know what, that will be enabled by the SignalR framework, and you just continue working and writing your application the same way. LiveShare doesn't play nice when you reduce the width of the Visual Studio window. All the connected users steal the toolbar and squish the menu. It squishes the menu? I see what you mean. That's pretty squished. So Gaff, I think you can appreciate how it's kind of future-proof and you're not coupled to an exact communication technology. So, all right. What I want to do is let's just put together some pseudocode here. So I'm going to receive some information, and I want to pass that back. I want to raise that information back to my web server. not responsive design, but oppressive design. Yeah. Hey, Guntbert, good to see you. Gosh, it's been a while. Thanks so much for stopping by. I appreciate that. I need to raise this information back to the web server. So how am I going to get that information about the web server so I can send it back into some sort of a queue or something over there? Thank you for the follow, Spectre Speed. Instead of doing my coding via remote desktop, I could live share to myself and do it mostly locally. Yes. Hey, Robert Tables, good to see you.
Wow.
Thanks for stopping by. I'm having a much better day today. Yeah, it's been a little bit of a tricky and hard week. But I'm feeling pretty good. And for those of you who are a little bit late and missed the announcement at the beginning, tomorrow is our Xamarin live workshop. We're going to be live coding, building your first first mobile application with C#, Xamarin, App Center. My friends James Montemagno and Matthew Sukup. We're going to be over on the Visual Studio channel, but it'll be syndicated and hosted over here, so you can find me here, jump over there all day tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, normal start time, all the way through till about 4 p.m. Eastern. 6 hours of live coding, and you'll learn to build your first mobile app with us. Tomorrow is the Xamarin workshop. Yes. All right. Is it possible to learn to code if you are 50 years old? Absolutely, News Punt. Without question. No, I'm not going to follow you. I'm sorry. If you have the desire, anything is possible. Absolutely. You got some client on-site stuff tomorrow? Not a problem. News Punt, if you want to learn how to write code, it takes a little bit of studying. It takes a little bit of learning around different programming languages. You have to learn some syntax. You have to learn some basic algorithms. And when I say algorithms, I'm talking like how a for loop works, how an if loop works, how delegates and callbacks work, async processes, threading, how some of those things work. And even then, some of those are a little bit more advanced. Get in the door and you can learn, not if loop, but if statement, a for loop, yes. Fletcher King asks, do I work for Microsoft? Yes, I do. Do you need to be very good at math? Depends. Depends on the type of coding you want to get into. If you want to get into writing games, you're going to need to know some math because there's physics that you're going to need to figure out around things like in a first-person shooter, when you shoot a weapon, that projectile needs to fall and it's got a velocity and there's physics there you're going to need. However, if you're building websites, no, you don't need to be very good at math. Furwizard, I'm 50 and learning how to code from the old linear to these new languages. Yeah, absolutely. Tomorrow is... Yes, tomorrow... Sorry about that, Smab. So... web programming doesn't need... Well, it doesn't need too much math. You need a little bit of math to add some things around font size, margins, and padding, really for alignment. But that's not too bad. You don't need to know trigonometry. You don't need to know algebra. But some of that you will need to figure out. All right, I want to be able to pass this information about this chat command, this code command, back to the web server so I can display it. So how am I going to pass back to my web server? My chatbot's actually hosted inside of a web server. Can I reach back to it somewhere and put that information somewhere that it can be fetched and displayed? I'm wondering I'm wondering, just to make this something easy to access without getting too crazy here, what if I made a public static read-only? I don't want to make it a queue. Let's make it let's make it a read-only list, right? Or is it an immutable list? Immutable list, right? Isn't there an immutable list? Yeah, there we go. And let's make it a series of, let's call these code suggestions. Something like this equals new list. Okay. And I want to define something that's looks like, let's call this a code suggestion. And I've got a couple pieces of information that I want to capture about a code suggestion. DNet78, I agree. A little bit of logical thinking is very good. So, to FurWizard, and who else was asking about learning to code? It was Newspunt. I'm actually going to start a series on building your first website in December. We're going to do this. Our friend Fairy Wings, she was here just a little bit ago. We're going to work with her. We're going to work with a couple other friends, including Ellieface, if you know Ellieface. Another friend of mine, Steffi, who's a former teacher. We're going to learn to write our first website together without using a framework, without using Node or ASP.NET. We're going to do just HTML so we can focus on how to build a website. And we're going to do that in December. So it'll be a very beginner-oriented series of shows, discussions. We're going to use LiveShare. And I hope you join us when we get into that. So I want to collect from this code command that I want to receive from you in the chat room suggestions of code. And I think there's a couple different properties that I want to make sure I capture. I want to capture the name of the user who's suggesting some code. I want to capture the file name that we're going to capture code, that we're going to suggest code in. I'm going to want to put a line number. Let's start with a single line number. And then I'm going to need the body of that. I'm going to use my snippet here. There we go. There's a snippet in Visual Studio. If you type prop and tab twice, it'll fill out and give you the basics here of a property. So let's call this just the body of the suggestion, okay? So it's just a little plain old class that I can use to store information about, well, what's the suggestion you're receiving here? Does not take a constructor, it takes 0 arguments. How many arguments should I have? Give me a constructor. What am I looking at here? No, don't do that, Robert Tables. Would love to promote the heck out of that. I know lots of folks who would benefit. Oh, Dee Dee, that's great. Let's talk a little bit about that, and we can absolutely figure it out. People interested in streams on more advanced stuff. We can do that as well. I want to make sure that I get some of the folks who are interested in some of the basic to intermediate. We can absolutely go into more advanced topics on other streams, but I don't want to swamp folks who aren't familiar with it. Oh, thank you, Ancient Coder. Thank you very much.
Oh my.
Let me tell you.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills.
I do have some skills.
Skills I've acquired over a very long career.
Very long career. And it makes me very patient. You can also do prop and tab for full property. Oh, you can 4P? Does that work? I haven't tried that before. Oh man, look, there are a bunch of other ones. Oh, look at that. Oh, very cool. So you were seeing me create what they call automatic properties there before, right? So prop will create just an automatic property. This one right? So I've got a get set that it will fetch into. This will actually store it into another variable. They call this a full property. Very cool. Thank you for the tip there, 4P. I didn't know you could do that. Awesome. +1 for more advanced stuff. So what I might do is I might say, you know what? Saturday mornings we'll do beginners, and maybe Tuesdays or Thursdays we'll do some more advanced stuff. So I've written myself a snippet for notify property changed. Yes. Yeah, that's a very good point. Because not only am I going to have this suggestion that I'm going to be storing into, but I need to notify, hey, we received a suggestion, go push this somewhere. So I'm also going to need to be able to receive that event. How am I going to receive that event when I don't have direct access to this thing? I don't know yet. All right, let's capture what a code suggestion is. So a suggestion, I want to inspect, well, let's start here. New code suggestion. The username is going to be username. Hey, there comes Alex again. Click OK, do this. Let me copy that link again. If you want to try and jump in and you want to see the read-only instance of the code, there you go. Hey, Code for Veronica. Good to see you.
Wow.
Thanks for stopping by. All right, so let me capture the username. I also want to capture now the file name and the line number. Let me know what you think of this. I want to receive something that looks like a code suggestion that says something like maybe file.cs, some line number, and then whatever the code is, you know, public new property, public string new property get set. Be able to see something like that. So I think we're space delimited here in the first couple things. It is such a hassle to write it into the properties. Yes. And I think I do want to do something like a notify property changed coming out of this. But it's like a static. Like I need to find that one object, that singleton that's going to be hanging out there somewhere. Ooh. Oh, wait a sec. Wait a sec. So, yeah, Veronica, so here's the idea. I want you to be able to send code suggestions using a format something like this, and we'll write a Twitch extension to automate building this in the future. But shh, we'll get back to that. So I want to be able to take this, I want to send it over to the web server so that it becomes visible to me, and then I can copy those and put them into the appropriate file. Also, a compiler magic trick. How about getting the code from a gist? That's not a bad idea, Bug Found, and that's something that I was considering. However, the problem I have with that then is I need to give everybody access to the gist, or you need to create lots of gists out there somewhere, and we're thrashing on that platform, and that feels bad. I hear you, Brave Cobra. I understand it. You know what? Hang on. Hang on. Stop the press. Give me a second here. I want to take care of something. So there were some new features that were rolled out this week on Twitch. I want to give Veronica. Veronica's been here for a while. I'm going to give her a VIP tag. And I also wanted to give, I thought I saw... let me also give Robert Tables. I'm going to give Robert a VIP tag as well. I have a couple of VIP tags I can hand out here. Brave Cobra is a moderator. Janesco, absolutely, is another one I want to make sure I give a VIP tag to as well. You're welcome, Veronica. Yeah, don't talk to Bobby Tables. He's going to drop all those tables. And Ancient Coder, yes. Yes. So folks that have been around for a while have been a tremendous help and have been enjoying the stream. There we go. You're going to get the little diamond VIP tag, and we'll toss a few more of those around over the next few shows as we figure out. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take care of Rambling Geek as well. There we go. Very cool. All right. And as other folks participate, and I see some other folks pop in here that I know have been around for a while, we'll throw a bunch of them around. Yeah, there's another one. Let's take care of Welsh Ronaldo. I know you've been here. There is a limit, and I think my limit is 50, I think is my limit right now. So there we go. Just a little bit of bling to recognize a couple folks. So let's go back to parsing this string here. So the right-hand side is everything after the bang code. So I want to parse this, and I'm going to grab everything between the first two spaces, and I want to say that this is the file and this is the number. And I feel like it's regular expression time. What do you think there, friends? Parathon. Oh my gosh, I forgot Parathon. Parathon's been around for a very long time. There we go. All right. Why not just string.split? You know what? My gosh. That's a really good point there, Mordecai. Hang on. Take care of that one as well. Thank you. Mordecai will throw one over there. All right. So if we do string split, who cares if it splits on the code section? I'm going to be able to grab the first two bits off of it and then just say give everything that isn't this. So let's do that, right? If I say var segments equals RHS, if I say, oh boy. So the right-hand side, let's do a toString on that. And then split, and we'll split on the space. So that should give me then, the first element's going to be the file name. The second element's going to be the number, the line number. So if this is segments 0, and the line number is going to be segments 1, and I know I've got to do a little bit of validation around this. But just to get this working, and then we'll throw some validation around it. And then whatever's left is the code. So let's say, right, the body is going to be RHS, toString, and then let's, if I do a replace, substring. So I was thinking regex. Should I use RHS span? Is that what I want to use? Bug found, is that the right one? If I do RHS span, does that work? No. Can I be, it's not a method. Can I do that? It doesn't like split. Yeah. So split. Yeah. So it's a. I could do a for over it. I could do some index ofs and go across it. You can't split a span of characters. Yeah, I'd have to write my own code. I don't want to do that. Can the file extension have a default? Let me come back to that. This is the span of t thing. Yes. I think I need to cast this to string. And for working in here, I'm okay with that. All right, so I don't want to, if I do a substring, the start index is going to be the segments 0 length plus segments 1 length plus 2. Right, so I want the length of this the length of that, and then this space and that space. Or is it +3? I got an idea. Ha ha! All right. That might be a good start. Let's add it to the suggestions. .add. I feel like this shouldn't be a list, but it should be a queue. I'm going to make it a queue. Because when I display it on screen, I want to... Right? I want to show it in a specific order. So I'm going to in-queue the new suggestion. Return task completed. All right. What do you think? Let's see here. File extension have a default might be a good thing. Let's think about that one. I don't know what it might be yet. Validation we absolutely need to do. I'm going to put a to-do in here. Validation error checking. I didn't want to do that. There we go.
Oh my.
All right. Is that the new VIP badge? Yes. Yes, it is. Congratulations. I've allocated a couple folks that have been quite active in the chat room that have been here for a while. Threw a couple of VIP badges around. Absolutely. Prioritized queue based on merged commits. Ooh. Now, that sounds interesting, but let me come back to that. And validation for bad words. Yes, let me come back to those. Those are a little bit further. Let me just get the basic functionality working, and then we can do some inspection on that. Very good ideas. I love where you're going with this. To do censor, no, adult language checking, to do language, programming language validation. Make sure you're not pasting HTML into a C# class or a JavaScript class, something like that. Blacklisting. Hey, Veronica. Oh my gosh. Lannon, thank you so much for giving a sub to Veronica. That is really cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. And of course, we'll make a donation to Girl Develop It. And Mordecai, that's exactly the kind of interaction I want you to be able to have with this. Blacklisting users. Blacklisting files. Whitelisting files. Like, I don't want you to modify a CS proj file. Yeah, look at all the .NET bots. So check it out. If you're going to stop by tomorrow to our Xamarin workshop, I want you to be able to bring those .NET bots and go crazy spamming them in the chat room so all of our friends that are watching the Visual Studio chat see them and can interact and know that you came from over here. Check the code against the language service. That's a great idea. Do we check it against Rosalind? So for right now, just to get something out the door so it works, I just want to pass along the text and we'll do some validation because there's some really cool ideas there. And Mr. Magoo, that's exactly where I want to end up. Oh, yes. Bokyo, that's... Hang on. SQL Mr. Magoo has been around for a while and has been a long-time supporter. Let's make sure that SQL Mr. Magoo gets a VIP badge. Thank you. Yes, and Blazor, yes. Oh my gosh. You folks are all over this idea here. Visual Studio plugin to list these suggestions. right? If I had a docked window over here that had, here's the folks from chat, and be able to show, here's what they've suggested, and at some point be able to show, you know, this is coming from Brave Cobra, and he's a moderator, and he's made X number of valid pull requests to this project, and be able to show a little bit of status to prioritize, as somebody was suggesting, and be able to show that and do that interaction. I think we're in a great place. And this is feeding into, right, the idea of making our bot, making our interaction with you while you're watching a Twitch stream a little bit more interactive, so you can ask questions around code, so you can suggest code live while we're working here. Bribe the bot with Twitch bits. Now that's... cut. What?
Oh my.
The bot cannot be bribed.
Do it live!
And we're going to write code live. And it'll be very social coding. Yes. Would it add a comment that the user contributed to it right in the code somewhere? I like that too. To do. Add comment indicating the Twitch user who suggested the code. And right, I'm still doing things like bits for bytes, and there's a suggestion out there that the bot, when a bits for bytes, right, when somebody cheers, automatically drop that entry here into the project as I'm coding along. Drop, you know, have it, you know, pop the little what's it called over here? The little screwdriver that says, oh, you know, here, add the cheer right here or something like that. It's a live PR system, like SQL Mr. Magoo did.
Hear it, Fritzbot _ good girl.
Thank you very much, SQL Mr. Magoo, for that kind cheer. I'm going to put that. So anytime that you cheer, of course, we'll make a donation to Girl Develop It. But I'm going to put right here, SQL Mr. Magoo cheered 100 on November 15, 2018. And that will stay with our code to show that you supported while we were working on this block of code here. Now, of course, I do have hanging out there as a reward, as a thank you. At the end of the month, whoever is our top cheer, you're going to get to do a live pair programming session with me in the month following. So I'll contact you and we'll schedule that. And if you want to hand it over to somebody else, that's fine with me. But I'm going to reach out to you and we'll do a pair programming session together. So thank you, SQL Mr. Magoo. And this is a bit like a build my own. If you could connect it to an active PR, make one behind the scenes, you could potentially use the new GitHub suggested edit. That's not bad. I need to dig into that a little more. I'm not quite sure what that means. All right, let me get past just getting the text into a web browser so that I can get what you're talking about in chat. Get that code somewhere over here where I can present it now and put it on screen. Yeah, this is very creative and smart, Robert Tables. I completely agree. So I've put that into this queue, but I think what I should do, I think I need what if I wrap? Now, Brave Cobra, you're pretty good with architecture. Let me get your feedback on this. And other folks, you know, let me know what you think. Lucantis, thank you so much for the follow. A new social coding paradigm suggested by chat. This is... yeah, this is a little bit... going to be a little bit crazy, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with it. So let's do this. Let me put together, let me call this, if I have a class that is the code suggestions manager, and I make this a singleton, right? And singleton means there's one and only ever one of these available. So right, if I have a public code suggestions manager and I call this instance, make this a public read-only, public static. I'll get this down. And it has a get method. I don't even need a get. Public static read-only instance. Why am I blanking on how to set this up? Why not use the DI container on this? Because then I need to configure it and manage it completely outside of here. If I do it here, and if I do this here, yeah, let me just do this here, equals new code suggestions manager. So now it's there and it's always available. And the way you make something not creatable as a local instance, you create a constructor that's private. So nobody outside of this class can create one of these. Inside of this, if I have the queue now, that's what you want now. How to unit test otherwise? Well, I'm not going to need to unit test this. I'm just going to raise events when there's new elements added into my queue here. I'm going to move this suggestions bit down into here and not make it static. Now I can raise... wait a sec. Hang on. Make this private... Right? Public... No, not public. Internal. Haha. Void add suggestion, code suggestion, and all I'm going to do is say suggestions in queue. Now, suggestions. Yeah, there we go. I got confused, which means I should do this. And I've got the word suggestion too many times here. That's going to be annoying. Sometimes you just have to have global state. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to add those in. And if I make this... All right, so now I have a way to put the suggestions in there. When that happens, I want to raise an event so that SignalR knows, hey, something new was added. You already see 4 different classes. Okay. Resetting state on an action is harder when you have a singleton managing a lot of state. Right. I have a container here that I want to manage this list on. I also want to be able to do a for across it. Right, if I do something public code suggestion, make it an array, and call this current suggestions, right, I can actually do something like suggestions.toArray, so that I can just paint them on the screen. Here's the current suggestions. So add a suggestion is something like this, and I want to raise an event when a suggestion is added. So let's create an event. Crap, I'm blanking. I want to call it something like suggestion added. And I need the events to an event class to go along with that, right? Soon it's code suggestion via serverless function, or yeah, something like that, right? And this is going to be events and an event arg handler with some event args. Ugh. Public class new suggestion. Let's call this suggestion added. Event args. So event args is a is a base class that allows you to specify, not event tags. Stupid. There we go. That this is a collection of event arguments. All right, let's get rid of some of these other ones. So the event arguments I'm going to want to pass in about the new suggestion are probably things like information about that suggestion, right? Fetch some paper and pencils and draw. Maybe. Let's just start with something like that, and then I can make this suggestion added event args. So now I have an event. After after it's added to the queue, I can raise that event. So I can say suggestion added. I love doing this. I'm gonna do not raise, invoke. Sender is this. New suggestion added event args. Suggestion equals. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm saying if there's anything attached to that event, if there's anybody listening, invoke, raise the event, notify, hey, let this happen. And I'm the one, you know what? I don't even need to send this. I can tell it. Nothing's attached to it. But here's the new suggestion that was raised. It's this argument, and it contains this information. So now, over on the website, I can grab the code suggestions manager, grab the instance of it, and listen for when suggestions are, when that event is raised. And when it is, post a message on the screen. Hey, good morning, Code Pagoda. Thanks so much. You think AutoMod doesn't like Java? I don't see anything about AutoMod. Is there any obvious reason to learn C# if you already know Java? That's a really good question, Mayor. I would say good reasons to learn C# would be around, well, Oracle's doing a little bit right now around the licensing of Java. If the licensing and the cost around deploying a Java application is something that you're concerned about, there's a good reason to learn C#. If you know Java, you already know how to program things like Android natively. Great. You may want to learn C# because then you can use Xamarin and use those same skills to not just program Android, but also program iOS. And we'll see more about that tomorrow with our friends James and Matt. But C# is very close, and you'll be able to get around and get into all the same environments that you can program with Java. When is event handler better than action? They both seem to work in a similar way. They do work in a similar way. So what SQL Mr. Magoo is suggesting is here, this is an event handler type that is being triggered. This could be an action of type, gosh, it could be just an action of type suggestion. That's not how you spell that. Of type code suggestion. And then instead of doing an invoke, I can actually execute that action, right? Let's comment this. I can say suggestion added. Thank you. And instead of invoke, not the method. If I do an invoke, yeah. Right, instead of passing in all this other stuff, I can just pass the suggestion like that. You can do that. It's very doable. Action, this is what's called a delegate. Okay? The action, the type that's specified here is the method, is the object type that's being passed into whatever it is that we're attaching to this. You can do that. This is kind of the old way to do it, by having it as receiving an event handler. because then I'll have a full event object that's declared that I can then attach to and listen and act on. But those are the reasons I would choose between the two. Yes, event delegation. Unity is another reason you can learn C#, Mayor. Absolutely. Unity is a full game development engine that you can use. This should be code suggestion added event args. There we go. Unity is a game development engine that you can use to build games. I've mentioned before, Hearthstone and Pokemon Go are great examples of games that use the Unity Unity framework. Blazor is very good. That's a C# framework that you can use for WebAssembly. That I really like. I think it's pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So there is an App Center plugin for Unity. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool too. All right, so now I have this object, this code suggestions manager, that will allow me to in-queue and add suggestions. I need a way to remove suggestions as well for when I'm done. So it's not going to be internal. Public, in which case I don't really need a queue, do I? If I just make this a list, right? So if we do add, I'm still good there. Public void remove suggestion. And if I pass back the one that I want removed, I can say this no remove, and then the one that I want removed. Okay. You don't have to pay to use C#, says Scott Hanselman. Says who? No, not that. That. Wrong button. Yeah. Stelzy's right. Okay. I think that's all I need over there. So when we execute now, we have all these great ideas. Instead of that, hang on. Here. Code suggestions manager instance, add suggestion, and then I'm going to pass into it our new suggestion, which will raise the event. And I should do this like a begin invoke, shouldn't I? So that I can fire it and forget it. Yeah. Not begin invoke. What are you doing, Visual Studio? So there's my args. I don't want a callback, and I'm not passing any kind of an object along. So now it'll trigger it, and then we'll wait for it to come back. Pay to use Java. They should pay me to use it. No, gosh. C# Dan, Oracle for 2019 has a policy where to deploy Java to production using the Oracle Java runtime, they're charging a licensing fee. Amazon has a service where you can use their OpenJDK implementation. A good friend of mine is on that team. He's done a terrific job working on it. Corretto, yes, Robert Tables, that's what it's called. I'm good friends with one of the program managers on that team. Engineering manager, I believe he is. Great stuff. I'm really looking forward to seeing how that works for them. Yes, that's right, Mordecai. Yep. I think Google regretted the decision to use Java for Android. It was a very popular language that they could get control of because it was all completely open source. So why not? Why not? All right, so now I have a way to receive those suggestions that are coming in from the chatbot, put them somewhere. Now I need to actually go paint them. I need to put them somewhere so that I can see it, or whoever is running the application. So I have an admin, current viewers, rundown. Let's add another page here. Add Razor page. Just so I can put it somewhere. And we'll call this code suggestions. Sure, looks good. All right. Installing NuGet packages. I have NuGet packages. What are you getting? What are you doing?
Wow. Right.
Build that project. Litigating the past. Ooh. It's a phrase you were taught should be avoided. Decisions by and large are made with the best information at the time and with the best intentions. Usually. I agree. Folks aren't out there trying to be nasty to each other. Usually. Don't ask me about the military. That's completely different. Does that mean to deploy Angular or Vue website, we need a license? No, Ancient Coder. Angular or Vue use JavaScript. We're talking about Java, right? JavaScript is open source. It's very community managed. The JavaScript Foundation manages kind of the direction that goes. You're in good shape with that. Java, yeah, different. Yeah, there you go. All right. Let's yeah.
Do it!
Let's take a look here and see what we can do to interact with this. So when we get the page, even before getting the page, I want to get a reference to that. What was that thing called? The Code Suggestions Manager. And you know what? Let's move this to its own file. Okay. So I want to keep a reference to that somewhere. This dot suggestions manager. Let's call it, just go right to code suggestions manager equals code suggestions manager dot instance. So I've got a reference to it. Where'd it go? Oh, I need to create now. It's a read-only field, so now I have a reference to it on my page. JavaScript's trademark is owned by Oracle, but that really doesn't matter too much. Really? Is that right, Lannon? I didn't know that Oracle owned the trademark to JavaScript. If that's the case... Larry and his lawyers are going to come find us. I want a nickel every time somebody uses the word Java and JavaScript. Java the script. Well done, C# Dan. Yeah. Really? Oh, wait a sec. Code Pagoda. Is that a... What do we got there? JavaScript is a trademark owned by Google, according to the United States Patent and Trademark Office. There's JavaScript. It's been renewed. Yeah. It doesn't say who owns it. On the front page, at least. Scrolling. Here. Oh my gosh. So this is United States Patent and Trademark Office. The word JavaScript. Current owners, Oracle. They're not in Delaware. Liar! Netscape owned it. Sun bought that. Oracle bought Sun. Yeah. All right. All right. Fine. Be that way. Just blow it all up. All right. Let's get back to the code. So I have my code suggestions manager. Actually, do I put this into a SignalR hub? Yeah, that's where I need it. I need it in a SignalR hub because I'm going to send that information. Yes. Of course, that's exactly where I'm going to put it. Thank you. So our SignalR hubs are the things that are actually going to be reaching out and we connect to. We still have that GitHubby McGithub face hanging out here. All right, so this thing is hanging out here, and we can have one hub in our project that knows how to reach out and sends information to folks. Blazor might be very cool to do with this. I think you might be onto something, Parathon. But let me come back to that. I want to do the simple scenario first, and then we'll definitely dig into how we could do this with Blazor. So let me get the commands and do the thing over here. Let's make it a read-only field. All right, so now I have that. And now I want to say this code suggestions manager. When there's a suggestion added, see the event there? I'm going to have it trigger an event. No, I don't want to rename. Go away. And what I'll do is I'll notify everybody who's listening. Oh, here's the new suggestion, and you can paint that on screen. SignalR, it would be easier. Uh-oh, I see an F sharp. Ancient Coder cries in F sharp. No. And VB.net. I want to bring our friend Kathleen Dollard back on to talk about VB.net at some point. Should be the next thing to learn. F sharps, yeah. All right. So when I receive this, I have this follower client object out here. That really what I've done is, where'd it go? Right, I've basically put all of the information about who to send information to. So if they're attached to this and they're in this group, send asynchronously this information. I'm going to add another bit here. Public void update. Well, let's move this up a little. Code suggestions. And I'm going to be receiving a new suggestion. So code suggestion, one of these. Let's control dot so we get all my using statements. Follower context, clients, and I'll connect people to a group called, let's call the group code or code suggestions. And we're going to send to them asynchronously on new, let's just say on new code. And we'll send that suggestion information, which it'll convert into JSON and send it. Hey, Rye Hopeleaf. Thanks so much for the follow. I appreciate you joining us. All right, so that's going to send the information. So from over here, I can trigger that by just saying this dot follower client update code suggestions yes, and there it is. So now I'm passing it out. So if I have my page listening, I can paint that. What I should do, and I was wrong to remove, when you first load the page, I should paint on the page the current list of suggestions. So let's make the page really simple. Code suggestions, and I have this model, right? That model is this thing. So I'm going to do a for loop through the current suggestions that are here and just paint them on the screen. Then we'll add some JavaScript at the bottom. So let's make this, should we make it a field list? Should we make it a field set? Did I already show a mock-up of what this page looks like? I'm doing it on the fly here. I am...
Do it
building it on the fly, and then we'll figure it out in a bit.
Hi, chat. Hi, C# Fritz.
Hey, Pac-Man Jr., thank you so much for the subscription. 8 months in a row.
Oh my.
That is awesome. Thank you so much, and we will make a donation to Girl Develop It. Very cool stuff. All right, let me put this as a unordered list, and we'll figure out the formatting later because CSS. Okay, now my collection is going to be, it's the model, code suggestions manager, current suggestions. Now, why am I getting green lines? Missing well, I'm not done yet, dude. So let's put in bold, the username, and then let's put the file name. Online at item. Hey. No Yain Rain. Where's that? Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks so much for the follow. Extra angle bracket online. Oh, look at that. Thank you. Good catch, C# Dan. There we go. All right. And I feel like I should put this in a, no, not in a paragraph, code. At item, and then it's going to be the body. And that should give me an element for each one of these that I'll be able to at least scroll through and be able to see, here are the current suggestions. Last thing I need to do, though, is wire up that SignalR client. Now, I currently have this page, current viewers, that has a SignalR client here. So let's grab this and use that as a starting point to add in the features that we're looking for. Stream Hub is fine. I don't need font awesome. You know what? Let's leave font awesome here. Maybe we'll do something cool with that in a little bit. I don't need a... Stop! Wrong key. I don't need a reducer. Let's get rid of that. All right. I'm going to need to add elements to this. So let's call this, let's just call this list. Right? Yeah, JavaScript. Here we go. Watch how bad Jeff's JavaScript is. I'm so bad. So bad at myself. All right. So it's not on viewers. The event that's being raised, because we is on new code. So that's what we're listening to. But we need to start, and we're not a viewers group. We are a code suggestions group. So this is putting us into a group that's listening for a specific group. We're watching. This is why software development is better done as a team. Amen. Amen on that. What keyboard am I using? Keys sound light and comfy. Hey, Zocknewt. I actually have a blog post. I should make this a command in the chat room. I have a blog post about my keyboard. Let me grab it for you. This is a Vortex Razor 3. Robert has the same keyboard. And I did an unboxing blog post. There it is. Yeah, what do you think, Mayor? Isn't that a cool looking keyboard? I have pictures of my other laptop keyboards and how annoyed I got with them. And then the unboxing. And the rekeying, is that a word? Need to add it to the FAQ. That's not a bad idea. All right, let's finish this and get this initial sample working. So get element by ID, total count. I don't want to get the total count. I want to get the list. So my list that I'm going to append to is called code list. So let's go get that at the start. So when I receive new code, I'm actually receiving that suggestion object, right? I want to create a new entry that looks like this and append it. Yeah. So instead of setting some content or something, I'm creating... I know there are good templating engines for JavaScript, and I'm terrible with it. For right now, chat room, if you'll allow me, I'm just going to concatenate together some text, if that's okay. So let me call this new code equals document create element, and then chat room, actually, if you can help me after we submit this and we get this into source control. I know some of you out there are a lot better at JavaScript than I. I encourage you to submit a pull request to optimize and make this a little bit cleaner using some of those cool frameworks. Hey, try Hardo Garcia. Thank you so much for the follow. It's really satisfying to use a mechanical keyboard for coding, but they can get loud in an office. That's one of the reasons why I'm going to have soundproof paneling installed here in the office, is so that Mrs. C# Fritz doesn't hear me typing. Thank you, Svava. Different tastes. There are some folks that like to have the soundproof rings on these. All right, so the tag name I'm going to put on this is an LI. So if I say new code and inner HTML equals, and I'm going to use some string interpolation here to get this to load up. Okay, let's do this. So we're going to have one of these, and I want to put the suggestion. Now my properties on code suggestion. Oh, excuse me. Right, is username. So this is actually going to be username, something like that. Right, and then it was something like this. And then it's going to be suggestion dot file name, because it does all that funny capitalization stuff online. And then I do it again. Suggestion dot line number. Right? And then I want the code. How do I put a carriage return? Can I do like that? Will that work? Let me know, chat room. Let me know. You just write C# and HTML with Blazor. Yeah, yeah. A good mechanical natural keyboard. I don't know of one. Just put a new line. Will that work? Or am I overthinking it a little? So if I just do, right, I'm outside the quote now because it's on a new line. You know? You don't need a new line. Okay. Backtick support multi-line. I'd rather have the new line bits. Right, see, okay, if that's Visual Studio erroring, you know, suggestion dot, was it body? Yeah. So if I do that, and then new line slash code, something like that. MS4000, I haven't used it, Mayor. Why do you have to describe the output format twice, also in JavaScript? So I'm outputting it first here so that so I've got it templated for here's how it's going to look when I paint it on the screen. And I'm putting it here in JavaScript so that as I receive updates, I can, why do I have an underline under that? So that I can put a new one in there. Which is the last piece here, right? Is I'm going to say list. See, now I've angered the IntelliSense and text highlighting gods. Append child new code. Right? It looks really good. Planning to buy it. Cool. I think that's what I needed to do, but I'm worried about these carriage returns. If I don't need to do the carriage return, let's not. You know? Ooh. Let's get rid of that. So if that, I think that works, right? So now I should be able to get the code suggestions and have them painted on screen. Hey, April 3,789. 300,789. Flails and runs and trips over a pile of beanbags. What? Missing a curly brace on line 41. No, I think I'm good. Am I good? I think we're all right. And this goes with that one. I think I'm all right. Oh, I did fix it. Oh, good. Line 41, extra space before last. Ah, thank you. All right. Now, hopefully that gets us something. All right. How do we test this? Because I need to be able to pass into the... If I just start this now, I'll end up with 2 bots in the chat room. That's not terrible. Well, let's see what happens. Two bots are better than one. I can't back that up. Here goes nothing.
It can be done exactly how I want it.
Exactly how I want it.
The only question is,
what is
are
the question?
you the man to do it?
Of course I am the man to do it. Here we go. There goes nothing. I trust Tryhardo Garcia. I do. All right. So there's my stream tools. I'll want to put a link in here at some point to go to the right page. But I'm going to code suggestions. Okay. So we should start seeing things. Yes. Heisenberg. All right. So if I do something that looks like this, and I pass file.cs something public class foo, and yeah, the bots. One of the bots is saying unknown command. I don't know what to do with this. However, over here, we're stuck somewhere. No, we're caught in the matrix here. Thank you so much for the help. It's code is what we should be getting. All right. So we should land somewhere like here. Well, that's not even the right command, Jeff. Okay, here we go. So username, there's me. All right, segments 0 is file CS. Okay, good. Segments 1 is going to be 12. Good. And then let's see if that body actually loaded out properly. Public class foo. So that worked. Ha, got it right. Code suggestions manager instance add suggestion. Right. Here. This suggestions add the suggestion. Good. Okay. And then if there's anybody listening. Yep, and there is. It's in the follower hub. Good. So if I raise that, Over here. Am I getting it? So there's another one that came through. It's not... It's not getting into the hub here. Think. Where are we missing this? Right, if we pass another one here, it's not getting to this. Why is that? Right, we're raising the event. We're beginning the invoke on the event, so it should trigger it and just exit immediately. And it's clearly, when I'm looking at... I don't care about that right now. Nor do I care about this. Or that. We're right... here. Your VS Code froze and quit. Ah, that's all right. Works for me. You got the list. Fantastic. Oh, so there is a list. Ooh. That's right. I forgot. Everybody has the ability to view this and what's going on. Let me add that again and see it break. So if I look at the suggestions, yeah, everybody can now, because I'm attached with the debugger, you should be able to navigate around and see some of this stuff going on. There's, yeah, from SQL Mr. Magoo, C# Dan. So it is receiving the information. It is putting it out there. But our follower hub isn't... Right, it should have... And it's... Where'd it go? Where'd the manager go? I don't care about Twitch service or this or that or that. This one. Okay. Right, it does have a target. It does know where to raise it. And that's okay. QD up. Thank you so much for the follow. Okay. I'm hitting that constructor a lot here. That's weird. Right, so it is trying to invoke it. What do you think? You do have the list in your browser. Well, right. If I go back over to this and I refresh, yeah, now I've got the list, right? But I want to also see it connect. So there it is, groups, code suggestions. So I've got the SignalR connection. So I've got the SignalR connection coming in from the browser. I'm not getting it from the bot over, right? That event isn't raising for me, right? Right, so there's SQL Mr. Magoo just sent one, and it's, if I refresh, there it is. But I want SignalR to push that into the user interface. I do like that the code looks like code, but it's not formatted or anything yet. But it's in a list. Oh man. What if I get rid of that begin and I make this synchronous? Right? What if I just make this invoke and I actually pass this over to it? And I can drop the 2 async arguments. Follower hub is not a singleton. That might be a problem. It's not. It's not. But these other ones around the stream service actually do work, and those are singletons. Let me try this again. When does Follower Hub get created? It gets created. It should get created the first time you navigate to that page, right? To that code suggestion page. So now everybody who's connected with LiveShare should be getting. Oh, come on. /code suggestions. So nothing yet. And let me open the JavaScript debugger. Send in some code. Oh, there it is. Okay, it didn't get to me. Right, update code suggestions. I should be receiving it here. So the group is code suggestions that I'm passing in. Let's make sure this is following through. Code suggestions, send async on new code suggestion. All right. I think we're almost there, friends. You got them? Why'd you get them? I want to get them too, Alex. If I refresh, they're there. But I'm expecting SignalR. Oh, hey, Crows. Oh, thank you so much. That's very kind of you.
Wow.
I appreciate the kind words. Oh, no. I've got 2 Fritz bots, and now they're... Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Stop! Stop. Stop it. What are you doing? Bad bot. Bad bot. Oh, dear Lord. Let's try this again. I think we're pretty close. I think we are really close. The fact that Alex is telling me he got the messages says that it's coming. We're almost there. Did someone give Fritzbot too much coffee? No, not coffee. G-Fuel. All right. Code suggestions. Okay. You got them on the refresh. Ah, okay. So if I pass that and I refresh, it is there. But I want my SignalR to push it automatically into our user interface. So there's something here that's not quite loading properly. So we got a new Stream Hub. Get element by ID code list. So somewhere in here, right? And hub start code suggestions. And it's definitely doing that. So hub on new code. And it's receiving something called a suggestion. Can I put a break here? Take a look at this. Yeah, that's just setting it up. That's not actually going to receive anything there. So, and if I refresh the screen, yeah, I get Alex's new message there. And I love seeing, I love right away that I can see, here's your suggestions. Is it on new code? Oh, no. Oh, bug found. You might be right. You might be right. Because it does that. Oh, no. I think you're right. Right, if I look at the new viewers, the way new viewers does it, right? Yeah. I think you're right. if I change this to save, refresh. All right, go ahead. Somebody, I think bug found. Yeah, Mayor. That's pretty trippy if that's the case. That bug found bug. Okay, hub connection closed. Why not? All right, I've got the data WebSocket connected. Yeah. Is it on new code like that? On new code. Let me go to follower client. On new code. Yeah, I feel like there's something we're just missing here. Because it's like right there, you know? Wonder what else I can... Yeah. It's mob testing. And you know what? I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled that you're helping me out with this chat room because this is, right? This is the epitome of mob programming, of having a script language which doesn't get compiler error before running. Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. Well, wait a sec. What the heck is that? I don't want that. That shouldn't be there. Not service count. I don't know. Go away. But what other... Okay, hang on. So Stream Hub is sitting over here. Let's go look at that thing. Wrong one. JavaScript Stream Hub. Okay, so we're connecting to follower stream groups, and we are connected. This hub on close, this hub on... Well, I think I just found what my problem is. On new code, right? If it's that, and I'm receiving, let's call it new code just for spelling. Console debug. If this on new code, what do you think, chat room? Go ahead, somebody give me some more code there. Let's see if we can get it to pop. I'm feeling better already. Okay. Holy crap. It's a bit much. Well, that's not right. I don't think we got that much code. Yeah. All right, so there's something wrong in our JavaScript. Hang on. This hub on new code, console debug, on new code, new code. Okay, so we're outputting, right? Yeah. Oh, wait a sec. This is executing, isn't it? No. Wait. What? Let's just do that. This on new code, new code. Hey, Quill Tony. Good to see you. Dang computer's doing exactly what you tell them to. A little? Maybe? All right, let's try writing. The hub is working. That's why we got them in the list. You have been here the entire time? Hiding. Now I've got this. Okay. Snark Mark, thank you for the follow. All right, I'm wondering if on new code it should append the child once. Am I somehow calling it more than once? I'm going to put a break here. Let's see what this looks like. Useful error message. Looks like the .NET error you got the other day that you tweeted them about. Oh, no. All right. So suggestion. There it is. Oh, look, and everything's uppercase. Okay. So we know that. So list is one object. And it's got a ton of nodes. But why is it continuing to append again and again and again and again? All right. So I know what that problem is. So let's go back over to the JavaScript. JavaScript doing the thing. So let's change these to like this, and then the body of it. So that should append it properly, right? New code equals document create, and I'm not calling this multiple times. Right? Okay, so there's all my list of code. Almost 700 away. Yeah. Okay. Somewhere there's a loop here. But it added what I wanted, and I think I need that break. Right? Yeah, I think I need that break so I can force that to a second line. All right. So if I do that, so how do I have it looping? You know what I mean? Let's close some of these other things because I think we've got. Let me leave that for now. If I look in, and actually those of you that are attached, right, if you're attached to the project, right, so there's the command coming through, and I'm not seeing, yeah, it's executing that many times. Why is it executing that many times? Is it triggered multiple times on the server, maybe? Valid. So there it is being invoked once. Oh, it is being invoked multiple times. Is it because it created one follower hub for each person that's connected? That's weird. It shouldn't be doing that. No, it's not because of the wrong syntax. It should be doing this once and only once. Yeah, it's still on that one. It's because of everybody that's connected. It's running it multiple times. Hey, thank you for the cheer, Robert Tables. What was the suggestion there from Magnus? Check if the event is triggered multiple times on the server. It does look infinite, and it should only be triggered ever once. Let me share the link back for anybody that's in Visual Studio. If you want to attach in read-only mode. There's the link if you want to jump on live share and connect. So I have many, many instances. Sim the one and only, thank you for the follow. And did I get Smark Mark there? Code Ventures, Infinity Hub. I shouldn't. And then use that context. Hang on. Not iConnection Manager. No. You're thinking of the old way that you did this. This follower client receives an iHub context. There's only one of these. And then this is what's sending out to all of the clients. That's good. This is being triggered multiple times, but these work okay. And they don't fire it multiple times. Is the event being raised multiple times? Because there's multiple instances of the command. No. Right, this should only fire once over here. Right here, this invoke should only ever fire once. Let me run this. I expect that to run once for each time that a command is keyed in. Right? Okay, so here it comes. There it is. Okay. All right, so there's our first one from Rambling Geek. So it triggered the event once. And there's one from C# Dan. Okay. So this is the one. Let me pin this from each user here. Right, so I can see these. So there's the one from Alex, and it triggers and goes through. But it's, right, it's dumping out, it's not an infinite number. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You thinking what I'm thinking? That's what I'm thinking, Rambling Geek. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Is this a factor of the web server? There are how many instances of the web server? Is there a Cartesian on that somehow, and it's dumping them out? If you don't mind, I'm going to, just to explore this, I'm going to cut the live share and refresh this page. So I've only got 3 of these. Now, okay. Nope. It's not live share. So I've got one invoke from C# Dan, and it's flooded it. Right? It's actually flooded it 1,026 times. So every time we specify a file name with a period in it, it's also being treated as URL by the bot when it goes to look up and do URL. Is that how many lines are being shown in the Twitch chat box? No. No. This is... So this event is triggering once. And then this is being triggered that many times. Nope, Alex, that's not going to fire because of that line number. It's going to... Right, so there's validation there that is breaking. But that should hit here, right? Oh, I put the wrong command. There we go. Here comes one. Right, so here's a suggestion that's being fired out. And if we look at this one, I'm going to... Not that button. I want to pin this. Come here. Thank you. Come here. Open that up. No. Rats. Not what I wanted. I want to open this up and pin that. Sure. All right. So there, the event was triggered and it's notifying, and it's the exact same thing. Right. This event is being triggered way too many times. Right. Events should only be triggered. Have a good one, sequel, Mr. Magoo. Yeah, it's 1,000+ times that it's doing it. Why is it... Why is it triggering so many times? In diagnostics tools, all right, let's take a look at that. If I take a snapshot, so I'm going to look for follower hub. $515 follower hubs. I think you're right. I think you're right. It's being subscribed to every time it fires. Have a good one, Robert Tables. I think we're almost there. I think we're almost there. So, because we're not receiving that code suggestions manager, and we're subscribing each time one of these is created, that's why it's triggering so many times. I know. We aren't supposed to singleton hubs. You're right. I don't want to make this static. I want to make sure that it's one and only one time that it fires. So I... For this event, right, how do I ensure... Don't store suggestion manager in the filled in hub. Okay, let's go down that path. So if I don't store that, and I don't do that, if I say dot instance, if we go that way, I think you're onto something there. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing your name right. Is it Brickib SW? Thank you for the follow. Thanks for joining us. You might be onto something here. Just Bricky, not a problem. Thanks so much for joining us, Bricky. I think you might have our solution that we're looking for. So here's my code suggestions. There's my console. Okay, there's the event being fired. This is from C#Dan. And it's... Okay, there's Delzy with one. I'm just going to let that go. I'm getting it 3 times. Why am I getting it 3 times? But I'm getting it. Check to see if code suggestion added is null and only subscribe if it is null. In manager, that static field always returns a new instance of that class. No, it is not. No. Let me do live share so that... Oh, come on, man. Thank you. Let me reshare that as read-only. I am... I think you're right. I am. If code suggestion manager... oops. Let's let some folks connect. Why won't it let me do that inspection? I could throw a yeah, it's not thread safe. It's not thread safe either. So I don't want to do that. Suggestion added. It's also pinning an instance of the follower hub. That would be a good hack. Use a public delegate. So instead of passing it in here, I'd do an anonymous delegate. Let's do an anonymous delegate, right? I mean, that's... Right, if we did, all right, it's a minus equals, instance, suggestion added, handle suggestion equals new action. Yeah, see, I need to then change this from an event to an action. Not terrible. Right? Well, how do I know what to minus equals? Let's take that off of being an event and just make it an action. That still works? Didn't know that. So it's not multicast. I think a better approach would be to introduce another class, one that is the notifier and glue between the manager and the context for your follower hub. Listening to events and fire off the SignalR method. Well, I think that's a little bit of what I'm doing now. That's what follower client does. Right? Move this. And do that. Rats. Right, so now I've got it as an action wired up. Mediator is in the project, yes. We could use Mediator to manage that, sure. That's not a bad idea at all. That's really not a bad idea. To reach out to the Mediator and send it. That's a really good idea. That came through. Well, I reloaded the page. Now it's coming through one at a time. I think we got it. Oh, Magnus, you're missing a line number there. We went a little bit longer than I expected, but yeah, there we go. So I still need some validation in here. I still need some formatting, but I'm receiving your suggestions. And I can clearly see, oh, well, let me go find this file and update. Now, I don't want it to end up on a web page. I want it to end up on. Yeah, thank you, Magnus.
Way to go, chat.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're really close. Thank you so much for all the feedback. Some diff compare, maybe. So we need a little bit of. Thank you, Sveva. No, we need some code validation in here to make sure that when you submit a line number, it truly is a number, and we send you back an appropriate message that says, "Oh, we need to you need to give me a line number. This is the format of the command." Some things like that. But for a basic first pass at this, we got it working. It does the thing, you know? And that's pretty cool. That is really good. I'm very happy that we got this working. So let's do this. I am going to start wrapping up. Let's take what we got here and let's put it into. I see what you're trying to do. Get some script running there. And yeah, we're going to need to defend against that. Let's go over here. I'm going to create a new branch. Let's call this the code suggestion. I've used that word way too many times. Let's add all the things we modified. First prototype working with receiving code and posting in a web page. All right. You can commit. Thank you. And I'm going to, hello, git push origin feature code suggestion and track that. If you're interested in helping out, if there's some code there that you think you can help clean up for me and improve it a little bit, I would greatly appreciate it. If you spend a little bit of time and send over a pull request, or you open an issue telling me, here's a way that you can fix this, you can improve things. We had a bunch of great suggestions around different ways that folks should be able to interact with the code that they send into the bot. And that is sitting right here under not code suggestion. It is the live code command. We have a bunch of to-dos here that I think are going to be really cool for us to go after and take a look at. So, thanks so much, everybody, for helping out today. We're at a great...
Did you get it working?
Yes, we did, Pac-Man Jr. Thanks so much for that kind cheer. Of course, we'll make a donation to Girl Develop It, and that's going to bump you up really high on our cheer list so far. So we are... gosh, I'm going to throw another little bit of cheer graffiti here. And there was somebody else cheered earlier as well, and I missed it, dropping it into our code. It was Robert Tables. Pac-Man Jr. cheered. It was 2000 here. And that was the other place when Robert Tables dropped that suggestion. We were over on the code suggestion page. So if you don't mind, Robert, I'm going to drop that little cheer right in here. Mario, you stopped on me. I want to make sure everybody, Robert Tables cheered, and it was 10 on November 15. There we go. Any other cheers that I missed in here? I don't see any looking back. Want to make sure that I record all of those. Cool. All right. Looks good. Let me... Added code cheers. All right. So that's in a working branch. If you're interested in helping out, go ahead, take a look. Maybe help break out some of those to-dos into issues if you'd like. We can certainly do that. And if you want to submit a pull request, absolutely go for it. And I'll be happy to review and we can make this feature better. But you're right, we want to make this into a Visual Studio extension and a Twitch extension. This is the first prototype, but we're moving in the right direction. Tomorrow, I will be on the Visual Studio channel at the same time as normal. We're going to be doing our Xamarin live coding workshop. You're going to learn how to build your first mobile app with us. My friends James Montemagno and Matt Sukup will be joining us, and we're going to spend a full day writing code. If you can't join us tomorrow, VODs will be available here on Twitch, and they'll be available on YouTube later. We'll be syndicating from the Visual Studio channel over to this channel, but you can find us primarily over there on Visual Studio. Yes, Greenie, you can share code in Visual Studio just like you do in Google Docs using the Visual Studio Live Share extension. All right, let's see if we can find somebody to raid real quick. I'm going to see who's in that science and technology stream, chatting, working on things that we can send you over to. What do you think about, well, Lash is out there. I see Honest Dan Games. What do you think about Honest Dan Games? I think he sounds like a good one for us to raid. Let's do that. So, Honest Dan Games, if you're not familiar, Honest Dan builds games in JavaScript and is doing some great work over there. Incoming raid. Gonna let them know we're on our way. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me today. You can hang out, stay right there, and you'll jump over to Honest Dan Games. Otherwise, I'll see you tomorrow working on our Xamarin, our first Xamarin app. And then on Sunday will be my last stream before I take off for a holiday break. We'll continue. We'll pick up where we left off here, working on the live coding bot. Alrighty. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining me. Take care. Say hi to Honest Dan for me. And we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.